Aloha YouTube. How is everybody doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is September 11th, 2020. And yes, it is the September 11th of when 2001, when the trade towers, the United States had that the biggest terrorist attack on U.S. soil since Pearl Harbor. I was 29, I think. 28 or 29, I believe, at the time. I was in my office at work, and a coworker came in and said, uh, "There's been an explosion at in New York City, at one of the trade towers. I think a plane accidentally flew into it." So then we went into the media room, and live time we watched the second plane go into the other tower. So, but the U.S. I know these terrorists meant to destroy the U.S. They had done an attack before, on the trade towers with the bomb in the parking garage that didn't really didn't do the damage they wanted, I should say. But the U.S. is totally different. The culture here is different. The U.S. wasn't built on kings and queens and repression. Yes, we had, hundreds of years of slavery, but the culture still is if you want it, you can kind of go out and get it and try for it. It might be a little bit harder nowadays, than it was way back then in the 1800s and the 1700s. And then eventually, when slavery was abolished, you had more opportunity for everybody that was born here in the U.S. or brought here, or immigrated here. But the U.S. always stood on that, and the whole cowboy Wild West mentality was never that of suppression. Where other countries they were used to being suppressed by kings and queens, so in my opinion, it's a little bit easier maybe to break their will, where not so much here in the U.S. And we really haven't had a lot of wars on U.S. turf. World War II, with Japan here, Pearl Harbor here in Honolulu. I live probably like 3 minutes from Pearl Harbor, closer to 7 minutes from Pearl Harbor, and the trade towers, and then we had a civil war, and the Revolutionary War was for independence. So in general, you know, we haven't had, like Europe had World War One and World War Two, and then they had their other skirmishes way before those two wars as well too. So it's we're not really a war torn country where you come and you know, I mean, yes, America has its issues and stuff like that, but you know, and the terrorist attack was sad, but the culture here is just totally different. If you want it, you can go and get it. It's the Wild West. Um, we're allowed to carry guns, regardless of what your opinion is on that situation. Um, and the U.S. does have its issues and its problems. And I've traveled, Europe and Morocco and Central America and other countries in Asia, and you do hear the sentiment about the arrogant, ignorant American. And some of it is true. I've been around other people in other countries, and they're like, "Why doesn't anybody speak English?" So yeah, I mean, that is definitely a for real thing too. But by and large, those guys, they thought Osama bin Laden, they thought that they were gonna, we were gonna curl up in a corner and suck our thumb, and that just didn't happen. So every year we look back and we don't forget, and we look forward to the future and bigger and brighter things because of that. So, and things did change. Airplanes, airports, all that type of stuff changed. Most people probably don't remember the different regulations and stuff like that. I had only flown like maybe a handful of times up until that point. So, um, I mean, and we should always keep our head on a swivel anyway. Football season is back, so you should always keep your head on a swivel. Somebody coming, on your blind side. So, but anyway, I digress. Let's look at my Robinhood portfolio for today. All time, I am still in the green. Not $100, not 5 or 6% like I was way up here. At one point, this was sitting over $2,200, 2260 something I think was the high. But still doing well. And like I said in my previous videos, my first recession as an investor, I think that my portfolios have done very well. I have M1 Finance with a Roth IRA and an individual account. That's my main. I have over $11,000 there with M1 Finance. And then Robinhood is just my growth side. So if you haven't seen my other videos, check those out so you can kind of get caught up as to what is going on. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It does help support the channel. I do appreciate it. So let's look at the day. When the U.S. stock market closed, I was barely in the green. After hours, still barely in the green. But overall, it was a volatile week. The S&P 500 ended in the green today. The Dow ended in the green today, and the Russell 2000 and Nasdaq both ended a little bit into the red. So volatile week, volatile year. August was a great month, and now September doesn't seem to be that it's going to be that good. And there could be various reasons. Some of it might be because we're in an election year, and that's kind of the trend. Election year, stock market kind of volatile. Some of it because no stimulus package. People might be uh, selling positions like they saved up to put a down payment on a house to pay off their car. Maybe just to start buying Christmas presents. You never know. Their kids are going to college, and classes are starting up. Maybe it's online classes, so you need a better tablet or a computer or laptop. You never know. So that's why my investment strategy is more barbell approach. I have Robinhood with the growth side, M1 Finance with my solid S&P 500 blue chip companies, dividend paying, dividend growth, and that's kind of my strategy. So when one side isn't doing so well, maybe the other side is doing a little bit better. Overall, I think I've done relatively well. I've only been doing this since Robinhood I started June of last year, so 14, 15 months. And my Roth IRA just turned a year old a couple days ago. So I'm still new at this, and I'm still learning. But overall, I still feel like I'm doing pretty good as a baby investor. So, but for the day, you can see Uber was in the green, Sirius XM Radio was in the red, Lyft and Starbucks in the green. I really like Starbucks. I really don't even go to Starbucks. Like, I know everybody loves Starbucks. I have friends that are we drive by Starbucks, they're like, pull over. You know, I don't really use Starbucks, eat there, drink there, or anything like that. I like Dunkin' Donuts. I like, Jamba Juice, stuff like that. But I believe in the company. The company is huge. They're all over the world. Stag Industrial, this real estate investment trust that pays their dividend every single month. So I really only have 3 dividend paying companies in this portfolio: Starbucks, Stag Industrial, and Sony. Sony pays an annual dividend. Stag pays every single month, and Starbucks pays their dividend quarterly. So Neo up in the green. I am significantly up. If you haven't seen my other videos with Neo, just over 300% now, $67. I got in so low with my 5 shares. I will hold on to them for quite a bit, a long time. Sony has been dropping out of the 80s and the upper 70s, but I got in really low with Sony as well too. So I am up almost 20% with them. And same thing with Starbucks. Starbucks I got in really low too. When the stock market dips, that's a great buying time. So that's what I use these dips that have happened this week and last week, is to add to my positions or to buy into a company that I've wanted to, but it was kind of trading too high. So Starbucks, I had originally got 3 shares at $68, and then I ended up dollar cost averaging up, unfortunately. So my average cost is at 73, but I still believe that Starbucks will be trading up at its 52-week high, around $90 again. So Facebook, not around the $300 again, in the red again today. Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, all of them Apple was down huge today. The FANG stocks, tech just really not doing well for the month of September. Hawaiian Airlines continues to go up for me, which really really surprising to me. If you want to know why I decided to buy into this airline, I have a video for them. Amazon, I'm still up with over 22%, but tech has just been taking it on the chin this month. So this airline group, I'm just going to hold on to them until international travel starts back up again and see what happens. So, and then Pfizer, I bought a little bit more into them. If you didn't see my videos, my previous videos, and my uh, video from yesterday, I'm still down because it's trading. My average cost is 36.46, and it's at 36.07. I was almost added to it today when it was at 35 something, but I thought, let me just stick to my schedule. I've got myself on a regular schedule, and when there are dips, I will divert from that schedule from time to time. But I really do not like to divert from the schedule. So I'm pretty much a ritualistic type person. So hashtag maybe a little boring. um, Shopify e-commerce, I'm up with them, but they are down today. So Pfizer actually was up today because it had dropped down so much, but for me, it wasn't really up. So for the day, it got over the $35 mark, over the $36 mark, so that's why it's in the green for today. So I am going to hold on to Innovio on news that I mentioned in yesterday's video about Thermo Fisher, maybe a couple more months and see where that happens. It did make a good move today into the green, so not for me. I am down with Innovio, but the stock moved in the right direction today. All time I'm up good with Square, but today they are in the red, barely into the green in after hours. And then Salesforce, like I said when I first bought this, and like I say in all my videos when I talk about Salesforce, I knew it was trending up when I bought into it, but my projection for it is bigger than $241 and bigger than the 271 that it was trading at one time. Maybe it trades regularly over 300. That would be amazing. They are the number one when it comes to customer relationship management, cloud services, Internet of Things. So I'm going to hold on to them and see what happens. Now, if something drastic happens, then I'll probably sell out of it, but I don't foresee that happening. So that's my Robinhood winners and losers. Subscribe to the channel. Be safe and healthy. Have a great weekend, everybody. Mahalo and aloha.